Hello and welcome to this YouTube seminar on how to present at a BESIG conference. My name is Kirsten Waechter. I'm the mentor of the BESIG scholars and first-time BESIG presenters, and I hope that the ideas I'm going to share with you in this video will not only be relevant for a BESIG conference. First, we should think about why do we actually present at conferences. Of course, we think we have some interesting ideas to share. We have the wish to pass on our experience, something we have done in the past and think worth sharing. Maybe we had good previous experiences. We were inspired by other conference presenters. Presenting at conferences is a great networking tool as well because people see and hear you, and that's very often very important because we want to sell ourselves, we want to show ourselves, our skills and our experience. And last but not least, it can be that your institute or organization has asked you to do this. Then the second thing is, of course, what are we afraid of? Biggest hiccup is usually technical problems. If it can go wrong, it goes wrong. And next to this is if anybody will turn up, so the question of the audience. It could also be, of course, that too many people turn up, so instead of 10, 20 people, you're sitting there with 50. And other things are about the voice. Will I speak loud enough? Will I be very nervous? Something like this. Because there's always the fear that you disappoint people, and that may actually impede your own performance, especially if you haven't got that much experience and if you're worried whether you can answer all the questions. So which takes us to the question, what do people actually expect? What questions will they have? Well, in my experience, people always want practical things they want to take away. They want things they can use in their own classroom, things that help them to work with their own clients better. They want new ideas, kind of change the direction of how they think about their job, for example. And of course, we all want to get some kind of confirmation, want to build confidence that we are doing the right thing. And we like sharing experiences with colleagues. So if you think about expectations people may have, you should also think about how to organize your session best. So make sure you prepare interactive elements, even though you're giving a talk. Prepare discussion opportunities for people, ask people to contribute, focus on people's areas of interest. Organize and structure your session very well and stick to what you promised in the description, in the announcement, and don't give them like a totally different workshop than the one that they are actually expecting, and make sure that you're quite enthusiastic and passionate about your topic. How to prepare? Well, biggest thing is, of course, think about the practicalities. It sounds banal, I know, but have your presentation on the stick. We had everything from adapters not working to projector doesn't like the MacBook or whatever. So have also your videos and sound files on the stick. Do not rely on the internet connection, and prepare handouts that you can share or distribute later on. Also, practice your voice if you're really worried about this. So have a look at YouTube for some breathing technique videos. Remember that you should rehearse like an actor in the theater stage. Present to the last row. Make sure people in the back hear you if you have, for example, a very large room. And this is where we come to my top 10 tips. The first tip is actually, you're worth it. Believe in your presentation. You have passed through the selection process of the conference organizers, and obviously there was a good reason to select your session or workshop. Don't be scared by the big names. It doesn't mean they're big presenters. So remember that you really have something to say and believe in what you do. And it's not only the what you're going to say, it's also the how. Yeah, if you're enthusiastic and passionate and really like working with people in the audience, I think that's more important than anything else. Of course, you should have something to say too. It's a good idea to start recruiting audience before you actually have the presentation. So prepare an elevator pitch. If you are on social media, do it as a video, upload your video, say when you're presenting, what you're presenting, and convince people to join your presentation in that mini clip. If you are at the conference, do this actually during dinner reception or in the breaks. Talk to people, say what you're going to talk about, introduce yourself that way. Even if they don't come to your workshop or session, they may actually tell others, or they may be interested and want a handout and you have a new connection. Prepare for all for nothing when it comes to audience size. How many people will attend is totally unpredictable. So it's got to do with when you're presenting, in the morning, in the afternoon, last slot of the day, nothing to do with your topic or with yourself as a person. And whether you have 3 or 30 people, it doesn't matter. Make sure that you create an enjoyable experience for all of them. If you have really large groups, a good idea is to break them down into smaller groups, to have discussion groups, something like this, and to keep them busy. And if you have small groups, don't be shy. Ask people to come to the front, to sit together and have a nice kind of circle of discussion with the people there. So have a takeaway means be clear at the start what exactly you're going for. So if people then realize they're in the wrong session, they can actually leave. Repeat that maybe 5 minutes into the session, because people often turn up late, unfortunately. And repeat your outcome, your takeaway at the end of the session. So it's very condensed and people really have the idea, okay, I learned something here, I have something to take home. It really makes them feel better and you will be remembered very positively. So involve the audience. Well, actually, I think the biggest issue here is it's not them against us. It's not you're standing in front of the audience and the audience is some kind of hostile anonymous mass. Make sure that you really engage them. Make sure that you ask them to contribute, to do exercises, mini discussions, get people to help you writing down ideas on the flip chart or something like this. Allow or invite even to share experience and tips of the audience, because then it's collaborative and then your nerves will do a lot better because you are not longer suffering from stage fright. You will actually do this as a collaborative approach and everybody will love you for that. A good idea is to remember heads up, heads down. So heads up, listening to the presenter, heads down, looking at an activity or something like this, and then heads together, discussing with your neighbors or in a small group what you're going to do. Good visuals is still a clear issue. Projection in the room is never what you see on your screen at home. So if it looks good there, it doesn't mean it looks good in the room. Remember that if you present during the daytime, dark backgrounds actually work better. Don't simply read off the slides and repeat what's on them. And if you want to tie in videos or pictures or something, make sure you're going to do that offline so that you really have access to them. Do not rely on the internet connection in any conference center. So talking about technology, do a sound check or rather a room check. So check the seating, the lighting. Is there a noisy air condition? Can I move the chairs? Can I remove the chairs because I want people to walk around and introduce themselves to each other as a warmer or something like this? All of this is very important and can best be done if you actually experience a session in the room yourself before you do your own session there. Timing it is very important. Really remember, conferences are very busy. Room handover periods are 5 to 10, maybe 50 minutes. So you must start and finish on time. Other presenters and organizers and the audience will be very grateful for that because it is already quite difficult to cram in so many sessions in one day. Allow enough time for discussion, rather skip a topic or two and focus on the ones that your audience really likes. Ask the audience questions if they don't ask you any question. Rehearse your presentation at home with a stopwatch and use the presenter's mode when you're presenting, where you can also see how much time has already passed because time flies. Hand out or hand in, if you have handouts that have exercises you want people to look at, place them on the chairs and force people to sit on the chairs where the handouts are. You know, they always like to disappear in the back or just sit at the end of the row or something like this. Don't let them. Be quite nice, but pushy in doing that. Hand out as a backup. So if it's more or less a summary of your own presentation, deal it out later when people are leaving the room. Get 1 or 2 helping hands, room stewards if they are available, or people from the audience, because otherwise people will only look at the handout and not at what you have to say. And provide spare handouts, because even if people don't make it to your presentation, they may be interested in the topic, and so that's a great networking tool as well. Social media, you can advertise things on social media, but please do not do that on the BESIG Facebook page in advance unless you're asked to. but make use of other sites. I think there are enough forums for English language teachers. Have a picture of your workshop taken and post it on Facebook BESIG before your workshop actually starts, which is quite nice. You can also ask people to take pictures during the workshop, which attracts people, and you can share them later. And we get actually a nice archive of workshops. So send out your slides as promised, quite important. You may actually think about writing up your workshop. Every year we work on the conference selection. That's Roy Bicknell and his team. Think about also, is that something that might work as an online workshop or webinar? Yeah, we're always looking for ideas. Or does it work as an article for business issues even? So most of all, enjoy yourself. We're all quite a nice bunch of people, I would say, and people don't come to conferences to eat presenters alive, not as far as I know. So ask people for feedback. Really approach them directly or plant a couple of people in the audience to do that, and get ready to submit your next presentation. So I hope that helps and you found that little video interesting. Get in touch. This is my BESIG.org address, and I hope to see you soon at one other BESIG or IATEFL event in the future. Thank you.